Tommy Douglas is a Burns enthusiast. In fact, he's more than that. He's a scholar of Robert Burns's work. He's committed great chunks of Burns' poetry to memory, and he's read just about everything there is to read about the poet. Why Robbie Burns? Well, after all, Tommy Douglas is a Scot, and Burns wrote about the ordinary people. Like Douglas, Burns takes his illustrations and subjects from everyday activity. He's a champion of the rights of the common man. He sings of freedom. He lived in a great period of social revolution, and he wrote about it. As Tommy himself has said, if today we have a better understanding of the dignity of man, if we believe in the worth of the common man, we owe much to the inspiration of Burns. But what appeals to him as well is Burns' humanity, his sensitivity, his great capacity for affection. The excerpts which you're going to hear, read by Tommy Douglas, deal with love and affection, as in the poems called Of A' the Airts the Wind Can Blaw, and social and political justice, as in Man Was Made to Mourn.
One of the songs he wrote, which isn't so well known, is a song he wrote for his wife, Jean Armour. After Jean and he were married at Mauchline, he went to Ellisland, start a new life on a new farm. He had to build a home for her. So he was separated from his wife for many months, and he was very lonely. And he wrote a little song for her. As you know, Burns was not an easy man to live with. Jean Armour had many heartaches. And yet, when one recalls that she survived him by some 50 years, I often think that as she sat by the fireside at night and sang some of his songs which were written for her, she must have felt that all her heartaches were worthwhile. To have had such beautiful songs dedicated to the woman he loved. And there in Ellisland he wrote what I think is his loveliest song. Of all the airts the winds can blow, I dearly love the west. For there the bonny lassie lives, the lassie I love best. There wild woods grow and rivers flow, and many a hill between. But day and night my fancy's flight is ever wi' my Jean. I see her in the dewy flowers. I see her fresh and fair. I hear her in the tuneful birds. I hear her charm the air. There's not a bonny flower that springs by fountain, shaw, or green. There's not a bonny bird that sings, but minds me of my Jean. He challenged the whole class structure of his day in what I think is one of his greatest poems, Man Was Made to Mourn. And he said, see yonder poor o'er-labored wight, so abject, mean, and vile, who begs his brother of the earth to give him leave to toil. And see his lordly fellow worm, his poor petition spurn, unmindful that a weeping wife and helpless offspring mourn. If I'm designed yon lordling slave, by nature's law designed, why was an independent wish e'er planted in my mind? If not, why am I subject to his cruelty and scorn? And why has any man the right to make his fellows mourn?